Greetings, Glitter Gang, and welcome back to Kathryn Scraps Live. This is the second part of the April 27th afternoon show. In the first part, we designed an album, cut all the pieces, and did all the scoring. And in this part, I'm going to work on assembling the pockets that we need. So, we are making this. We're making a pocket envelope album, a Pock-Velope album, if you will. So what we're going to be working on in this particular recording is this 5x7 pocket on the front. So that's what we're going to do. All the measurements have been given, are on the recordings in the archives and on YouTube. There is a YouTube playlist you can check if you want to make one yourself. The first video has all the measurements for all the parts, screenshots you can take to... I even hold up my notes that are, of course, wrong. So, you know. But you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. Oh, I don't have any tape. Okay, let's think about this. Where did I see Miracle Tape / did I see Miracle Tape? Oh, hello, Miracle Tape. Ha-ha. Me? Well, you can't. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, we need 3/8 inch tape. All right. All right, so I'm gonna get 3/8 inch Miracle Tape. You can use Miracle Tape, or you can use any pressure sensitive double-sided adhesive. In this case, I'm using Miracle Tape because that's what I like and it's very affordable. But you can use core tape or silkwang or you know, whatever you prefer. Oh, there's the rest of my Miracle Tape. Hey, this is all stuff that goes on my desk. Wow! Is my glitter tool in here? My glitter gang tool? Yes! Success! Oh, my microphone battery charger? Oh. Look at me. Look at me. Like... DJ Khaled. All I do is win. All I do is win. Okay. All right, now we are going to, I should buy a lottery ticket. I should. All right. Gonna make a tape bracelet. We're gonna tape all these pieces because these are hinges. You know, we're gonna need to tape them on either side. Is Mary still here? Mary, are you still here? Because the Women's Prize for Fiction shortlist was just announced, and I was thinking the book Trespasses you might be interested in. If you haven't heard of it / read it already, check it out. You just read it. That's what I see. How did I sense it was your type of book? Yes. All right. We have been having mostly temperate weather. So interesting to live in a place with temperate weather. So it hasn't been too hot or too cold. It was cold when we first got here. We did have to run the heat when we first got here. Now we're in the phase where we're just on AC pretty much all the time. And we're not bouncing back and forth. But we did have a period where we were bouncing back and forth between them, where sometimes you need the heat and sometimes you need the AC. Yeah, so I looked at climate charts for both Augusta and Tampa to kind of compare. And it looks like in the peak of the summer, Augusta will actually be slightly hotter than Tampa. Now, my guess is that while it will be humid, it may not be as humid. And that's just because Augusta is not quite as like low-lying, close to the ocean, you know, etc. as Tampa is. So maybe, but it's definitely should be hotter. So it looks like there's like 2 months out of the year where it's hotter on average over the last 100 years in Augusta than in Tampa. Now we're only talking about, you know, a few degrees, and it's kind of like once it gets really, really hot, you know, when you're at 99% humidity and it's 96 degrees, how much worse is it than 94? You know what I mean? But other than that, it should always be cooler here on average. It looks like. And in terms of climate, there's more variety in Augusta. So Augusta has a cool season in the winter, and then they have a getting warmer season, and then a warm season, and then a hot season, and then a getting cooler season, and then a cool season. So they just have a little bit more variety, whereas in Florida, it's really just hot most of the time, and then there's like a milder season that's kind of the winter, and then it's hot again. But like, you know, the common thing there is that it's like when they say what seasons you have hurricane season and tourist season, because it doesn't really matter. The weather's the same, you know, 8 to 10 months out of the year. So yeah, there was definitely a time when we needed jackets and long pants when we were going out, and even in the house, I had to get some sweaters and little sweatsuits to wear in the house. So it's been very nice. And I Googled when are my trees going to stop putting pine cones all over my yard, and the internet said never. That the pine trees will shed their cones all year long. There's not really a season. They're just going to constantly be shedding their pine cones and pine needles. So there's just always you always just have pine cones. But I did learn, supposedly you're supposed to leave the needles on the grass because the needles hydrate the grass and they're good for the grass. So you're just supposed to leave them where they lie, and you're just supposed to go and pick up all the pine cones and pile the pine cones at the base of the pine trees. And then that will nourish the trees. And then the parts of the pine cone that the tree can't reabsorb through the soil becomes mulch. And eventually you just have this nice pine mulch. So Yeah, fire outside, not inside, because one of the things they said is if you do pick up all your pine cones and pine needles, not to store them within 35 feet of the house, because they're so flammable that you don't want them within 35 feet of your house. Huh. The cats are currently not allowed in the office, so I don't know how often you'll see them. But basically, you know, because they're so dedicated to getting outside, what we've done is, because this used to be the garage, so there's a door, what used to be the exterior door of the house, which goes from the laundry room into this room, and then there's the actual now new exterior door that goes from here to the outside. So what we've been doing is everyone's been coming in through the office so that, you know, the laundry room is kind of like an airlock. So if the cats like come out with you, you can catch them in the laundry room, you know, instead of in the, instead of them getting all the way out. But because of that, they're currently just not coming in the garage at all, because we don't want them in the laundry room at all, because we don't want them getting outside. So I don't know how often you'll see the cats, but they're all pretty happy. Kitty could be happier. I think she'll be happy on Monday. She really misses, we gave our recliners to charity before we left, because they were a little too large in scale for this house, and we thought maybe we'll just sit on the couch. And Kitty just can't stand it, people sitting on the couch. She's just upset that she can't curl up next to people's feet in a recliner. And sometimes she just sits on the floor and stares at us like she's been betrayed, you know, and she'll just sit on the floor next to us, sitting on the couch, and stare at us like, well, where's the thing to put your feet up so I can take a nap on your legs? Why do you guys hate me? So we do have like a ottoman that we had in the we've ruined her life. We completely ruined her life. Yeah. So we we did I know, we're so terrible. We're so terrible. So anyway, not just for that reason, because we would not have bought recliners just for Kitty, but the couch situation is not helping with my back. I've had a lot of pain, particularly neck and shoulder tension, that I think is from sitting on the couch. And I've tried all kinds of different positions and pillow configurations, and I just think, you know, with my arthritis and the other stuff I have going on, I just need to accept that I have to be in a recliner. So we did order some new recliners, and they will be here on Monday. And we figured out a configuration for the living room where we can have the recliners in front of the TV, and then the love seat that forms the L with the couch that's currently our conversation TV watching area can go on the back wall. And then when we're having company over, like if we wanted to have dinner and we wanted to be able to sit in the living room and have like appetizers or whatever, we can swap the recliners in the love seat and put the recliners against the wall. And there's still a path in between the love seat on the wall and the back of the recliners to access like the bookshelf that'll be back there and the cat tree and all of that. So I think it'll be fine. And then Kitty, I'm sure, will be happy. So, I mean, I'm sure in the beginning she'll pretend like she doesn't care and that she didn't actually want to sit on our legs after all. But after a few days, then she'll get over it and then she'll sit with us again. So that's her big complaint. Marcel is maybe a little bored because, you know, he misses being able to climb all over the pool cage and chase lizards and squirrels and such. But Damien's currently using any boxes that come into the house to build him like a cat, sort of like like a cat condo with tunnels and holes to climb in and out of and stuff like that. It's an expansion of, was it Bev? Were you the one who sent me the whack-a-mole thing for the cats? Because we have actually made them a little whack-a-mole station. So, so Damien's been working on that as his project. And they've just been requesting cat TV a little more often than they used to. So when they're like, and I can tell when they want to watch cat TV because there's this one spot where they all sit in front of the TV, and then I just turn on their videos, and then they watch their videos and attack the TV until they're tired, and then they go take a nap. So I think everyone's kind of settling in. But I did find a chicken run with a roof that was like fox proof on Wayfair for like 200 and something bucks, and I'm thinking about getting it for the cats to be able to have an outside place, because I think that would be, I mean, if a fox can't get in, I assume that means the fox can't dig under it, that there's something that prevents the fox from digging under it, and dogs from digging under it. So, and cats aren't major diggers like that. And like I said, it does have a it's fully enclosed, full roof and everything. So, and it says it's like 6.5 feet tall on the walls, so people can stand up because it's a walk-in chicken run. So I don't know, I think I might, because that'll be quicker and easier than a screened porch. And then they'd have at least a little area they can go eat some grass and throw up in. And then they also like to watch all the squirrels. We have a lot of squirrels that live in the cul-de-sac, and they are fat. I mean, they're enormous squirrels. They're the size of cats. So clearly they have no predators. Clearly. So Kitty likes to watch them scamper around. And then she yells at them to get off her yard. All right. Now, on this piece, so these are the 5x7, the 7x5s that are the front. These pieces aren't getting, they don't get any tape either. So then, and then on this piece, only this bottom flap gets tape. Yeah, they must be eating well. I did see quite a few people have food gardens. And in fact, the people, I think, who last owned this house, who last lived here, attempted some kind of food garden. Because there are some onions and things growing in the backyard that don't look totally wild, like they're in a galvanized tub in a bed. So maybe the squirrels are just snacking on everyone's gardens. So we'll see. And I eventually want to have some beds for some of the stuff that we eat. Mostly lettuces, but you know, the salad type stuff, lettuces and cucumbers. But I have to do a bunch of research and also like unpack my house first. So, but we're getting there. It's so much better. So I'm happier. But yeah, so Monday, so this weekend we're going to finish the living room and get it ready for the furniture. Now, the furniture was supposed to be delivered on March 31st. And so we're like, okay, well, we have plenty of time. And then yesterday we got a notification that they would be delivered on, or not March 31st, May 31st. And then yesterday we got a notification that they'd be delivered on May 1st. So 30 days early, which is Monday. So we're like, okay, I guess our project this weekend is the living room, because the living room has to be like totally done and ready for the recliners, because once the recliners are in there, we're not going to be able to make any major changes, because it's just going to be like, not totally tight. Like, you'll be able to walk around with ease, but you won't be able to move furniture with ease. You'll have to move furniture out of the room, you know, to really make big changes. So, all right, so now we've taped everything for the pockets. So we'll start working on those. I'm going to set the other pieces that we don't need to the side for the moment. Ah! Gonna have to get a new place for you. I already know. Okay. So the table legs, my table legs are closer together because of the new rigging for the lights and the camera. And because of that, the scoreboard and paper trimmer that I normally kept next to the leg of the desk, so I could easily reach down and grab them, are closer to me, which means I keep kicking them over. So, all right, so first things first, I'm going to just start cutting all of these pieces apart. So, just adjustments to make, but it'll be all good. So we survived the Masters. That was wild. Like, you know, we took everyone's advice and we just tried not to leave the house, but Damien's birthday was during the Masters and wanted to go have Indian food for his birthday dinner. So we made reservations and we left 45 minutes early to go to a place that was 8 minutes away. So we left 45 minutes before our reservation to go to a place that was 8 minutes away. And we got there on time, you all. We got there on time. That's how wild the traffic was. So, and someone in our neighborhood had these like easily $300,000 RVs, Sprinter vans. There was some group of people, they were all driving around together in Sprinter vans, in those Mercedes Sprinter vans that cost like $150,000. I mean, there were very obviously wealthy people in groups, and just in our normal suburban neighborhood. So, yep. Let's see. It rained quite a few times during the Masters, and once lightning struck a tree and 3 trees fell over on the people. So, not on people, but near where people were sitting. But no one was injured, but they did have to suspend play for trees trying to get everyone. So, and I learned all about the controversy with 54 golf and all of this. So there's like, I just now know, so because, you know, Google, because I was in Augusta during the Masters, Google assumed I wanted to know all about the Masters, and I kept clicking on the articles because, you know, I just moved here and I was interested. So, of course, then they kept giving me more. The problem is Google hasn't figured out that I don't care about golf. So it keeps telling me about golf. And I'm like, no, stop telling me about golf. I'm like, don't tell me about golf anymore, Google. Please, you don't need to keep me updated. You don't need to keep me updated. Everyone take a break to hydrate. Okay, now we're going to start the assembly. So on your 5x7 pieces, we're going to need a ruler for this. And I know I just said I need to try not to have a ruler, but I think I'll get through it. I'm going to come down 2 inches on this piece, okay? And I'm just drawing a pencil line for now. Luckily, I do have the ruler that's always in my tool bag because my tool bag was found. So I'm going to come down, yeah, I'm going to come down 1.5 inches. Let's come down 1.5 inches, not 2. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to come down 1.5 inches and I'm going to draw a pencil line. And then on the sides, I'm going to come in I'm going to draw lines 1 inch in and 1.5 inches in. And I only am going to need to do this on this one. Because I can use it as a template for all the others. Okay. And then same thing on the other side, 1 inch and 1.5 inches in. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is, okay, so here's my line that goes across, and then I have these 2 lines. I'm going to draw a diagonal line from here to here to connect those 2. Okay. All right, so now I want to just use something round to make a little, I'm just going to use this bottle cap. You can just use a 1-inch punch, you know, whatever you have on hand. All right, and that's going to round that off for me. You can see how I've kind of rounded it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to cut the one side, and then I can use it as a template for the other side. You'll see. Okay, so now you get an idea of the shape. All right, that's going to be my opening for my envelope. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this ruler to cut it, you know, most of the way off. Okay. All right, and then what I can do is I can then go on this piece. Oops. I'm just going to line this one up with another one. Okay. And then I'm going to flip it over so I'm basically doing both sides at once. All right, so now I have one that's just that envelope opening, okay? And I can cut the whole thing. All right. Now I have my perfect one, so I can come back over here on this first one, line them up and draw it. So you really only need to do the one freehand. And now I'm just going to tape all of them. Or not tape them, trace and cut. So this is now a template. Well, there's a way to tell Google you're not interested in things. On YouTube, there's a way to say I'm not interested in this type of content. And there's also a way to say don't ever show me this channel again. And I think it's on the video when the video is recommended to you. I think you press like the 3 dots and you can say I'm not interested in this. But on Google, since Google owns YouTube, there's also a way to go into your main Google account and look at what Google thinks your interests are, and you can change them, because you can tell Google that's not something that is an interest of mine, and they'll eventually stop showing you stuff. It does take a minute for it to catch up, but they will stop. I would just, well, Google how to change your interests on Google. Well, maybe you have to be on a PC then. All right. Almost there. All right, and okay, so now all right. We've got those. So the way it's going to work is we're going to attach this to this and then this. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to slice 1/8 of an inch off each of these so that I'm going to cut it off. Do I want to cut off the bottom or the top? I'm going to go ahead and cut off the top. I'm going to slice 1/8 of an inch off just because I want these to be just ever so slightly thinner. So you might make yours 4 7/8 instead of 5. And it doesn't matter if you cut it off the bottom or the top as long as you're consistent about it. Either cut them all off the top or all off the bottom. Okay, there we go. Now, that way, the reason we did that, gave them a little trim, is so at the top they won't be touching that score line, and we'll have, this will just close easier, that's all. Okie dokes. So now what we need to do is we're going to attach these to these. I think I just want to round these corners as well. So So let me find the ones that I drew on originally. Here it is. That way I'm only erasing the one. All right. Okay, and then I can trace that on all of them. And then we'll be all good. All right, so that's one, that's two. Now we'll just go through and do all of them. All right, so that's that. So we're still chugging along, but we made a really big progress. Pretty happy about it. Still work to be done, but thankfully we're moving past the you have to move 30 boxes every time you want to unpack one box stage into being able to pretty much access any box or shelf you need to. Every once in a while, YouTube seems like it's so interesting because every once in a while, YouTube will show me a video and I'm just like, why would you think I would want to watch that? And then I sit there for a second and I'm like, maybe I do. And the one that was like the weirdest serve to me that I was really into was this time when they showed me this gross anatomy school. It was literally just the guy who teaches the gross anatomy class in the lab with the bodies, explaining the different parts of the body. And I was like, you can show dead bodies on YouTube? That was my first immediate reaction. But then immediately, all the information was so interesting. So, because it showed me, the first one it showed me was the Achilles tendon one. And the Achilles tendon was not what I was expecting at all. Not that I spend a lot of time thinking about the Achilles tendon, but it feels skinny, right? Because it's like, look on your back of your leg, it looks all skinny and stuff. It's enormous. It's enormous. And then what was another thing I learned about? Oh, that your stomach, you have like a curtain in your abdomen. There's like, you have this like curtain that like goes over your internal organs, between your internal organs and I guess your muscles and stuff. It's like a little curtain, and they have to lift it up when they do surgery on you and stuff. And they were like showing this curtain and explaining it, and I was like, I would never in a million years have thought we had a curtain inside of us. So, you know, like I just was like, yeah, no, you're right, YouTube. That was interesting. So sometimes YouTube's like, let's just see. Let's just see. Let's just see. Maybe this is a person who wants to take a free gross anatomy class. All right, so that's, see, now it's starting to look like an envelope. Now it's starting to look like an envelope. I went, one time they were like, do you want to watch this doctor from this plastic surgery practice explaining why you shouldn't get under eye filler? And I have literally never considered getting under eye filler, and was like, yeah, I'd like to know why I shouldn't get a thing I was never going to get in the first place and had no interest in, and why not? And then I was like, I'm definitely not getting it now. Just like But what was really interesting about that video is that one of the reasons why they were talking about not getting the under eye filler is, they being this plastic surgeon, is because they were explaining that a recent breakthrough in human anatomy had just been made by a medical examiner on the anatomy of the face, and particularly anatomy of the eye, and what causes the, if you have the kind of under eye bags, not the puffy ones, but the ones that are like divots, the ones that you get filler for, what causes that, and how filler was never, ever, ever going to work. And that's why people who get the under eye filler have to keep getting it and getting it and getting it, and that's because it doesn't fix the problem. But now that this guy's made this breakthrough in eye anatomy, they're going to be able to develop a product that will like permanently lift those, I don't know, canals, I don't know, whatever. And then you will only have to do it the one time. And I was just like, what blew my mind about that was that we had a breakthrough in human anatomy and the structure of the face. Like I was like, we didn't know before what caused the under eye divots. Like how did we not know that? Like how is it not a thing that we didn't know? Oh yeah, Sally Ann, maybe after, I don't know. Although my mom watched knee surgery before her knee surgery, and it helped with her medical anxiety, so you never know. You never know. So, all right, so now, I don't know if you can see it, but you can, I'm not perfectly matched up here. I have a little bit hanging off, so I'm just going to go through and trim any little bits that are hanging off like that so that they're clean. I hope that your surgery goes well and fixes your pain if you're in pain, which I assume you are if they're doing that surgery. But yeah, so I don't know. I just thought it was, first of all, really amazing that we're still making breakthroughs in how the body is put together. And then also the Achilles tendon. That thing is enormous. It's enormous. And that's not its name. It has a different official name. All right. Fran says now I need to look it up. Those Gross Anatomy videos were so interesting, honestly. And if like gore bothers you, those bodies are not juicy. I don't know, you know, like they look more like models than people, you know what I mean? So it's not gory or whatever, you know. So it's not scary, I guess, is what I was gonna say. So yeah. Okay, so now that we've got this far, what we need to do next is get the two side pieces on. We'll attach them here and here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them. How many do I need? 12? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I'm going to trim them down to 4 3/4. So that I don't have to be as as careful. I have plenty of room, and I don't have to worry about the envelope being able to open or not. So we'll get these on so that our envelopes are done. And then that's where we'll pick up when we come back. Oh my gosh, so much accomplished in our first class back despite my limitations. I'm pretty happy. I hope you're all happy and having a good time. All right, so well, my surgery that I had when it was described to me after the fact was disturbing enough that I think there's some surgeries you definitely don't want to see. Like, you know, the type of surgery I had where they have to remove all your internal organs to get to other internal organs that are in the back, kind of a situation. I don't know, I found tools. We really accomplished a lot. And they just like, so there's some that are probably really awful to look at compared to others. But yeah, that anatomy class was very interesting. And especially they were showing an Achilles tendon that had been partially ruptured, right? So they showed one that where the person would have felt it and it would have hurt them, but not bad enough that they would have sought medical care. And they said, but then it would have for the rest of their life bothered them. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just well, I was going to just chomp the corners, but guess what? Nothing in my chomper drawer, but I do have a box labeled punches. So let's see if the chompers are in the box labeled punches. It doesn't look like it. It looks like these are punches. So what we're missing, if I don't have my rulers, my bone folders, what we're missing is a box clearly of stuff from my drawers. Somewhere there's a box of the stuff that was in my drawers that I still need to discover. Maybe it's in the 4x2 tools. No, this is really just tools from my 4x2 Expedite. So this is actually accurately labeled. Really, I just need a corner chomper. Just one little chompy chomp. I just want to do one little chompy chomp. One little chomp. Man, probably in the tech box because that's where the bone colors were. Let's go look in the tech cart box. That would make the most sense. All right. Oh, yeah. Well, here's my Martha Stewart photo corner punch, which is in the same drawer. So maybe, friends, maybe. My Misty. What else is in here? Oh my gosh, my rulers! Okay. None of these are corner chompers, but they are all things that are corner chomper adjacent. A bacon press. Okie dokie. What are you? My backup Martha Stewart photo corner punch. Okay. Oh, this feels corner chompery. Please be the large round corner chomper. Be the blue one. Be the blue one. Be the blue. It's the white one. And what have I got? The blue one! Yay! I hope you all enjoyed this impromptu ASMR with the rustling paper noises. Of course, I backed myself to a corner here because I had to move something to get up. Now it's blocking my way out of this area. So earlier when I said I don't think we have I think we're done with the stage where we have to move things I was incorrect. We're not quite done with that stage. Ow, that kind of hurt my wrist. It's probably fine. All right, I'm coming back. Ugh. Ugh. The problem is I have to move all this stuff one-handed now because I have my hands full of the stuff I discovered. So okay. Some good stuff, friends. That is some good stuff. I'm putting the paper in the paper recycling bag, so that's what this noise is. It's almost over. Okay. Woo. right, so we've got a bacon press. We've got the mat that goes under the mat for when I need to do messy stuff. We've got the Misty. We have got all my rulers. We've got the white corner chomper, the Martha punch, and the blue corner chomper, which is the one that I wanted. My centering ruler. Okay. Great work. All right, so now we're just going to chomp. I'm just going to chomp one. Oh, this is not the one that I wanted. This is the other blue one. Okay, I think the angle punch is, the white one will work just fine. Because I just want to get the corner so the corner is not going to poke up. So I'll just use this one. And it'll be good enough. Whew. Well, I see that we've gone over, but we'll just keep going until we've attached all these. Okay. All right, so what I want to do is I want to attach them to, yeah, see that corner is good enough. I want to attach them to the back of this front piece. I'm not going to attach both sides because I still want to be able to trace this for my pattern paper and stuff. So I'm going to attach it just to the front, but not to the back. Okay. Apparently the battery died while I was looking. Okay. So I'm just centering this. I don't know how much you heard, but I've chomped these corners so they won't poke up past this curve. And then this is this is 4 3/4 now. And then this piece is 4 7/8. So this is 1/8 of an inch smaller. So I'm just centering it in between the top of this and the score line. So it's not touching the score line and it's not touching the top. All right. Okay. Luckily, I just found, I don't know if y'all heard, because I don't know where you lost sound, but I just found the battery charger for the batteries for the microphone. So all right, so what I'm doing is I'm putting these on just the front, but not on the back in case for decorating purposes, it's going to be, I think it'll be easier for decorating if we can still open it. We'll work on that tonight, perhaps. if we get far. Oh, you had sound until I started attaching the hinges. Well, that's not bad. You didn't lose it that long ago then. And we're over by quite a lot, but you know, we'll just keep going until we've attached all these hinges to these pieces. And then we will come back tonight and continue our construction, assembly, etc. But you, I think, should by now get the idea of how these are going to be, you know, how these are coming together, these envelopes. And we will be back tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern USA time, which is roughly 4 hours and 45 minutes from now. So whatever time it is where you are now, I'll be back in 4 hours and 45 minutes. So glad to see all of you again. Glad to be crafting again. Hopefully anything that I haven't found that I need for tonight, I'll find pretty easily. And it won't be too rough. So this evening, but I think this is gonna be a cute one. This project, Bright and Happy. And that's the last one. Okay, so that's where I'm going to call it for now. Like I said, I'll be back in 4 hours and 45 minutes. I'll be back at 9 p.m. Eastern USA time. If you're watching this in the archives or in the YouTube playlist, you know, either check the folder or check the playlist for more videos in this series. This is the Measy Pock-Velope album, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye now.